everybody, welcome back to Just Watch. And Miss Marvel episode 4 just came out. It was really, really good. We left off with Kamala getting the phone call from her grandmother about her seeing the same vision as her and asking her to come to Karachi, Pakistan. So that's where they went. I guess her mom was like on board, was like, yeah, I guess you need to see your grandma. She even told her, maybe your grandmother can figure out what's going on with you because, obviously something's going on with her and her mother doesn't know how to wrap her hands around it.
But it's obvious that the mom wanted to see the grandma too, though.
Yes, and we see that. That's what I like about this episode. They show the whole mother. It's all about mother-daughter dynamics throughout the whole thing.
We didn't even get the dad or the brother the whole episode.
No. Or not even really mention much of them. It really focused on the mother-daughter relationship between all the whole generations of this family. Like you said, obviously the mom wanted to go visit her too, because it's been a while. And, Kamala's never been to Karachi, Pakistan, and so it was her first time going. And how they introduced it too was so nice because, as an audience, it's like showing us the first time going, her experience kind of being shook from the light, the light, the little overtake, music and everything, and it was just like overwhelming but embraced at the same time. And you kind of be put in her shoes because obviously there's a lot of history here, for her here, and hoping she finds some answers. And she kind of does. She does find some answers because we get introduced to new characters.
Yeah.
Like Red Dagger, the Red Daggers in general. Kareem, who is one goes by Red Dagger, and I think it's more of a group that's like protects the people from like unnatural forces or beings. I guess their own like little group there. And I'm not sure if this is in Marvel Comics yet. I'm gonna look it up though and try to find out more. But he knew about the clandestines.
Yeah.
They knew all about the North. They know everything that basically they told Kamala about. But see, in them, though, they see her great-grandmother as almost like a legend. Most people saw her great-grandmother as someone that needed to be shunned away,
Right.
But they saw her great-grandmother as somewhat of a legend, and even kind of like, if you're a descendant of Aisha, of course you belong here, So you can see her face lit up when she saw that, because I think she was getting a lot of negative association with that, and now seeing that it's being embraced, it's not as bad.
And then the Red Daggers were being led by Waleed.
Yes, yeah. Which is like I was thinking like he was such a great mentor. You can tell he had the knowledge, and he really like let us in like the inside of what's going on with this other dimension. We saw like that he said this is not only just one dimension, many dimensions. And actually they mentioned something about other dimensions too in Shang-Chi, where that's where his mother was from another dimension, or where they even went to, and I think that's why, because we saw the little Easter egg of the 10 rings in the last episode too. So where are we going with this? Are we going with 10 rings and Miss Marvel having a connection, like as in with the with the 10 rings, Kamala's bangle and the 10 rings do have a very similar look to them. And if you hear in the beginning of the legend of how he received the 10 rings, you know where they say he found them? A tomb.
Oh yeah.
A tomb. And where do we get the flashback in where they find the bangle? A tomb. Could it all be the same tomb? Right. Could it be the same kind of alien technology, that now they're being,
because also Moon Knight, how he was in the tomb,
there's
a lot of connections with tombs going on in phase 4,
and phase 2, how it's a big connection to powers and their spirituality, so I thought that was very interesting, that I feel like this is kind of going in some kind of bigger direction. And we see how Kamala's powers have really kind of grown so fast. The way she's in control of them now, her and Red Dagger were like boom, 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 and she was not missing a beat. And I think most of it too, I don't think she has to do it. I think she just has to think it almost like it's connected to her, which is, we saw again, another reference to how this power is coming within. It's something more than just her having DNA from a clandestine from another dimension. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know, Jen is just a name. I don't think it has the meaning as much of a stamp.
The literal meaning that we have for it is something different, right?
I think they just didn't have a name to give
Translate.
them. Yeah, to give them, and now they stuck with that name because that's just how it was.
It's been cast upon them.
Yeah, and you know that's not really them at all. Even when Wally showed the map of the other dimensions, you know, he kind of said that the clandestines want to make the whole world the Noor. So now we see that maybe they've been lying. You know, now we get a clue that they've been lying the whole time, probably, and want to get the bracelet instead of going back home, kind of doing bad, take over.
Yeah.
And we saw them in jail, right? What's the thing they had for them? Like the superhero jail? Like, what was that?
Oh, right.
I think, though, that was the same one from She-Hulk.
Where Abomination is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So now it's like, now that's a whole nother thing because who's keeping in this jail? Who are they been like putting in this jail? Who else?
It's in
yes.
Supermax jail.
That obviously are meant for, you know, non-human beings. You know, so superheroes, anything they see as alien or whatever, you know, could be in this jail. And who knows what kind of secrets it has. And I'm really, really curious to kind of explore that further. And I can't wait because I think She-Hulk is definitely going to explore that further.
And that was the DCD or DODC
yes,
headquarters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's where they've been keeping it. And we already know that DODC is some shady business. You know what I mean? You can tell that right off the bat. So, but they escape because, you know,
very easily too.
Yeah, it was really easy. And the mom actually leaves her son. She actually leaves Cameron, which is crazy. And
he made his decision.
Yeah, I guess she saw that their clandestines is bigger than the relationship with him, her own son. And that's like, she's kind of has this like tunnel vision of what her mission is. And I guess, you know, is she trying to answering to someone higher than her because she's so desperate to get this done?
She might be facing consequences.
If something, yeah, and maybe instead of maybe she's like low key kind of trying to protect him. You know what I mean? You know, it could be because it could be bigger than what is now happening. It could have been like, okay, we're gonna get the bracelet, and then this is that. But now it's like way bigger because they got to now that I think about it, they got to Karachi pretty fast, wherever the headquarters at.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure that's in New York or New Jersey or something.
Right, somewhere in the United States, I would think that place would be. But it kind of like it was by water. But yeah, they got there pretty fast now that I think about it. So they had a big fight. They caught up with Kamala and Kareem. They caught up with them. They had that big fight scene. And it was getting really, really brutal. They actually killed Waleed. And I was like, what?
Right.
I was like, oh, he's going to be a good mentor for her. She needs him. And then he dies. But, like, how it ended was when she literally, I don't know if it's because she hit it with the bracelet. I don't know if it's some kind of what happened, but she got transported back in time. And you can see, like, too, throughout this whole episode, how the British occupied India, the partition, how it affected generations of families, and the horrible experiences they had to go through. And this show's not shying away from that, and it's educating even people like us, like me, because I didn't know all these details about that. And
it was very heartbreaking to see, though.
To see the experience. You know, I like when shows do. It's kind of like how Watchmen did it when they didn't shy away when they showed the Tulsa massacre. Yeah. You know, it's like you can definitely learn something from this show all the way because, like I said, it's affected generations. Like I think, like her great grandmother Aisha, actually save them. You know, I know she got such a whatever happened, she disappeared or something, and the great grandmother, the grandmother was talking about how she followed a trail of stars and led her to her father, and that's all she remembers. What if it was her mom? Gave her the bracelet, gave her the light, the Nord that she followed, and maybe that shunned her back to her other dimension or something. And she's just been, or maybe in this kind of weird realm in between. Like I don't think the great grandmother's bad at all, and I think she was actually good, and I think we're gonna see her again.
There's only 2 more episodes left, man, so they gotta wrap this up nice.
Yeah, and I think it's really gonna be they're getting there though, and I appreciate every single detail they're covering with her backstory. It's really awesome because we even got to see how she got this beautiful piece of cloth from Waleed that we can definitely see. I see it's actually going to be for her future costume of Miss Marvel. You can tell the fabric. He even said every stitch in this has history in it, So, why wouldn't she engrave that in her costume?
And it's like she's getting every piece of her costume piece by piece over time. It's not like Peter Parker when he's just like making his costume.
And it's boom, it's done.
Like, everything has a meaning, and it's true to her, and that's really good to see in a hero.
And that's cool for the I think that's what made people draw to the comic in the first place, because everything was wasn't just typical superhero things or whatever. Something that was very personal, something more deeper than just, like you said, getting a costume. And I think we're gonna see her final reveal costume. What, the last episode?
Maybe.
It has to be
right before Carol Danvers comes out.
No, for
Still
real.
banking on that.
No, for real. It's getting there, man. I'm really, this episode was really great.
Yeah. Well, for Zach, go.
I'm gonna leave it with Just Watch.
This is Zach. No, do it again.
Okay. So guys, yeah, and we can't wait for the next episode. So yeah, we'll be covering on here, and I'm gonna leave it with Just Watch.
All right, this is Zach.
Bye.